See, we must speak today about fundamentals of programming. So there are programming like you guys are learning C, C++, or Java, or Python, or PHP, or Perl, or COBOL, Golang, any programming language you are learning right now, isn't it? So see here, the point is that, why all these programming languages, there are hundreds of programming languages. We know very few. Hardly at your academic level, we have only few. C++ is an optional, Java, now Python, and like C# programming. There are, it's all industry related programming languages. C#, .NET, ASP.NET, many more. See, the problem is that with the programming language will be, programming language is not meant for communication between human. Like English language, Telugu, these languages are made to communicate between two people. But programming languages are made, you know what? Programming languages are made to make work on top of the hardware devices, such as electronic devices, right? So any programming language you are learning, if you write an instruction such a way that hardware device will function, if you convey some message to the hardware device, it will be act according to your instruction, like a whole humanoid robot. If you give instruction to the robot, hey, go forward. Can you go and bring the tea? It will go and bring the tea for you. Can you convey that, hey, robot, go and open the door? It will be open the door, which means if we write an instruction for the robot in terms of programming such a way that it will act accordingly. Now, what is the purpose of the Alexa? Now, you guys are, most of the people are using Alexa, right? What Alexa is doing now? Exactly, you are holding in phone. If you open the Alexa, if you convey some instruction to the Alexa such a way that it will be able to open the TV, it will be increase the volume of a TV, it will be increase the volume of a DVD, it will be switch on the AC, it will be open the door. All the instruction you are passing through the Alexa. Are you clear? In fact, now electrical switch, smart switches. Do you know the concept of smart switches? We won't touch the switch. In your mobile, you will be find there is a layout. The way how the switchboard is there at your home. In your phone, there is a switchboard. Just if you operate through your mobile such a way that the respective fans are going to be on, respective lights are going to be on. All these will be, it is possible. There is a concept is called as an IoT. What is the full form of IoT? Internet of Things. Things means what? Appliances. There can be a home appliances. There can be a smart city appliances. There could be a agriculture. There could be a smart home. Anything. Collection of things will be interconnected in order to communicate each other. The backbone is going to become what? An internet. Yes or no? Like, the programming languages, solving real world problems. Are you clear? Why mathematics is not solving the real world problems? We know mathematics, right? You are very good at mathematics. You are a banker, let's suppose. You are a banker at a bank. For a day, being a banker, how many people would come to the bank such a way that he can serve? Can you serve 50 people per day? Each banker, can you talk to the people? Can you solve their problem? One person wanted to open the account, one person wanted to deposit the money, one person wanted to take the check, one person wanted to take a DD. Likewise, to how many people you would be solved per day? Max 50 from morning 10 o'clock to evening 3 o'clock. Because before 10 o'clock, they won't come to the bank. After 3 o'clock, they won't serve to you because bank timings are over. They would say the same thing, right? At max, per a person, 50 people they can serve. If there are 5 bankers, how many people they can serve per day? 250. Likewise, at a particular point of time, you are transferring an amount from a phone pay game payment gateway such as phone pays or like Google pays, all this. Millions of people at a time they are able to do the transactions. Even though you are a human being working at a bank, will you do millions of transactions? This is the classical example where a human being capabilities are very negligible. Their capabilities are so up to some extent, hardly 1%. When compare the computational power of the computer, computational power of the human can solve the certain problems to be solved. Hardly 1% can be solved. 99%, just within a seconds or few seconds, the computer can do that. Are you clear? Therefore, what I'm trying to tell you is that here, human can solve real world problems, isn't it? By taking more time and tired, and they have physical properties. What does it mean? Human has a physical properties, right? Means they would tired, they would sleep, they would get irritation, they would see the face feeling. Yes or no? If you go to certain places, I'll tell you, you know, uh, wherever, in public or private, wherever you go, there is a man who come with a, uh, like, casual dress, we can say. Casual dress is nothing, but he is not look like a professional. Will you respect them? Okay. Who are they? Yesterday, somebody have already attended, right? So I told them not to be attend online. If they wanted to enroll, they're supposed to enroll through the offline classes. So today, they want to plan on that. Already I have started the link, let them convey. Already they know the link. Okay. Even Dharani and Madhu. Okay. Let them convey that. Let them join. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So here the point is, I'm just comparing human potentiality and computer potentiality. Very clear? Now, 1 week back, you may know or not, I don't know. Elon Musk have started building robots also. They released all in the market. 15 lakhs cost of the robo. It does, all the functionalities like a human. At your home, it can sweep, it will be wash the cloth, and it will be served to give you all the teas, coffees, and it will prepare the food itself. There are a lot of functionalities, whatever the housemaid is doing at home, everything whole robo can able to do. Because robo is one-time investment. It doesn't tie 24/7, whatever the instruction you give, it will be performed without time. without, ignoring also. In case of the maid, evening at 5 o'clock, if we ask, please, can you stay 1 hour and will you do this because my relatives are coming? If you ask what they say, no, no, madam, I have some work. I have to go other house. Please, you do your work. They'll say, yes or no? You cannot believe that, see why these programming languages are day to day becoming more and more interesting, and they are becoming very common to everybody's life, being a student or being an employee or being everything. Because, these are the things or, capabilities of the products are becoming more and more sophisticated when compared with the, human being. Clear. Therefore, what I'm trying to tell you is that human can solve the real world problem by taking more time, tired, and they have physical properties. There will be a lot of problems also. But whereas the computer made with a combination of hardware and software, right? Yes, sir. Clear. So therefore, computer, do you know the speed of the computer? The speed of the computer is that a one processor equal to one person, which we can perform 1 millions of bits per second. Yes or no? Millions of instructions can be executed per a particular second. Can human does? Absolutely no. It's far away from the computational capabilities of computer with a human. Very clear? So, whenever if we apply the programming concept, because the programming have made to work on top of the hardware devices. So, programming can solve real world problems very quickly, because computer software does not have any physical properties. It's like a static image. Can you see the software? No. Can you see the color of the software? No, it doesn't have any physical properties. It's like an image. Real software located at one place, millions of the people can access them, the shadow of that particular software. Are you clear or not? So physically Gmail login page located at a server, are we not all accessing that particular server? We are accessing the login page, we are logging and we are passing the information, we are sending the mails, we are receiving the mails. Physically the software located at one place, but logically we are all accessing remotely. Are you clear? This is called client server concept, right? Therefore, the computational power of the software and hardware is uncomparable with the human capabilities. In order to solve all these problems, to solve real world problems by the programming, we need to follow certain strategies. We need to follow certain strategies. Firstly, we must know algorithm. What is an algorithm? Have you heard about what is an algorithm? Can you tell me what is the full form of algorithm? Step by step, step by step, step by step process Oh, to complete the given task or problem. Very clear? Why we require steps? Because there is a flow, right? See, if we follow the algorithm, it must follow the flow. Flow means what? A sequence. Let's suppose if you go to the ATM, you want to withdraw the money. What are the sequence of steps you get follow? Can you tell me the steps? ATM transaction. You want to withdraw the money. What steps you would be follow? Can you tell me the step one? What? Yes, we'll be insert the card. Then what happens after inserting the card? Firstly, system would check whether your card is working status or whether the card is already blocked or whether the card is damaged or what. It has to know already, it get to know that, And some of the ATM does not accept some of the ATMs because all the ATMs are now heterogeneous. Does it mean what? If your ATM is belonging to ICICI Bank, you can withdraw the money from the SBI Bank. Means interdisciplinary. They would be communicate, as a global card. Firstly, whenever you insert the card, isn't it? So verification that your card is working condition. Yes or no? Sometimes, blocked can be, card might be blocked, card might be damaged, card might be expired. There will be multiple situations over here. All these will be logically, it will be get verified. Okay, verified. Okay, the next step, enter the PIN number first, ATM PIN number. Enter the PIN number. Okay. If the PIN number is valid according to the creation time, then obviously it will be go for the next step that will ask you to enter the amount. There the amount can be withdrawn. There you can check the balance of the account. There could be many possibilities, isn't it? So let's suppose you can take a withdraw amount to be entered. So after entering the amount, we have to check through the programming that the sufficient balance is existing in your account or not. It has to be cross-check that the check is going to be happen. After successful sufficient amount is there, then obviously it will be tell you that, what? Step 5, that counter denominations. Because sometimes, if you give 50 rupees, there are 100 rupees notes. It's not the matching, it's a multiple of the notes, whatever the denominations are required. Then obviously, step 6 is what? So once an amount is matching whatever the amount you have entered, which is a multiple of the notes which are existing in the bank, obviously the dispensary mission means the inside there will be a dispensary mission would be there. That will be count the number of notes it will be throughout, isn't it? Once the money will be received by the candidate, then obviously it will be tell you that remove the card. You can take the card, remove the card, or you can take the card. That instruction will be displayed by the ATM in appropriate manner, which the user can understand that. Absolutely. See, I'm talking about, algorithm or maybe a flow. In this particular steps, in 6 steps, can you interchange the steps? The second step can be made as a first step and sub-step can be made as third step. Can you make it like that? It doesn't happen, right? So why it is not going to happen? It has to follow proper steps. It is to follow proper strategy. Yes or no? The all instructions has to be keep in that particular such a way that obviously your operation or your problem can be solved accordingly. You want to prepare the dosa now. You know, if you go to five-star restaurant or if you go to some restaurants, human is not going to prepare your dosa or something else. There will be an automation. All the ingredients seems to be available. Just like the dosa will come, just the man will take out and it will be keep in the plate. That will be automatically served for you. It needs to follow certain scenario or not. Even nowadays, you may believe or not, at home the vessels would be there, right? The rich people won't be clean them. Just all the vessels they'll be keep in a one particular machine such a way that and keep certain liquid and all such a way that it will be clean it and it will be give it to you with a dry. Yes or no? See, all these facilities are providing as a mechanism because of the programming process. Very clear? So it like escalator. Do you think there is no program? Escalator has a program, right? Whenever you go near very closer to the escalator, it will be start, the belt would start and then we are going to be stand on that. When the man, if there are no human is going near to that, it will be automatically stop working because the power consumption doesn't work. Obviously, it will be utilized, it will be optimally reduce the power consumption. It's a sensor, right? It's a sensor. Even though lift, yes or no, it's purely a program. Smart door, it's a purely program. You cannot believe in near future, whatever the things you are looking, whatever the way you are using the devices at home, at our office, and everywhere, 60-70% of the appliances are going to become automated. To make the things as an automation, only there is only innovation can be happen with the help of programming. Are you clear, guys? So please, I'm probably you might know everything, but I'm just making you removing your ambiguity that why the programming is going to become a part of everybody's life. You are a BCom or BSc or mechanical or civil or any background you are from. If you wanted to be survive in the current industry near future, you should be a coder. You should be a coder. Otherwise, you don't understand anymore. Are you clear or not? See, very recently, one guy has come to our house. My washing machine was not working. Just you opened the dashboard, whatever the operating panel would be there, right, on the washing machine. He opened it and he was looking something else. He said me that there is a pressure sensor, water flow pressure sensor will be not working. We wanted to replace. Okay, no issues. I asked how much. He said 2000 rupee. Why like that? I just saw that price over the online. The cost was 600 rupees. I have shown him that, boss, the cost of this sensor is only 600 rupees. You can take 700, you can take 800, but 2000 is very expensive and I cannot give you. You can leave from here, I said. No, 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 sir, we can give whatever the amount you want. Otherwise, if I'm not asking you, simply you would ask 2000 rupees. Because this sensor word is technical word, right? Technical people can understand that word. Such a sensors in AC, there is a temperature sensor called DHT sensor. There is a light can be controlled with there is a sensor called as a LDR sensor. Like, every appliances, whatever at home we are using, there are sensors. They are very less cost. But these people, whoever we come from the industry or from the company, they would be, convey us to be pay more money because we are not aware, right? So whether you work for the industry or not, doesn't matter. But, formally we have to know this particular programming languages because many students, 10th class friends are doing a lot of innovation. They are developing their own products. If you go to the China, 10th class students are able to develop most of the electronic computers and mobile related devices. That's the reason China people would be sell the products with a very less price because they'll be developed from the scratch. They know programming, they know how to do the chip level vendorship, like, they would be able to do the manufacturing itself. If you buy 100 rupees product out of India, they would be give you for 1 rupee. 99 rupees, this transportation costs, GSTs, all this bloody India have made such kind of things. For importing charges, exporting charges, all this. Are you clear? So therefore, if really Indian people are going to be learn these programming languages, how to develop, the scratch level, very large scale integrated circuits, motherboards, microprocessors from the scratch, this computer we can buy for only 2,000, 3,000 cost. Are you clear? But we are buying by paying 1 lakh, by paying 70,000, 80,000, like that. Because we are not aware, we are working on top of the device. What programming has written inside, how it is working, we are not aware. Great. Okay. So please, guys, I'm just telling you the capabilities of the programming, capabilities of the human. Because in fact, the human only made this particular programming, this particular hardware device. But why we are very slow? Why the computer is very, very fast? That's the power of the electronics. That's the power of the electronics. That's the power of the binary system. Are you clear or not? That computational speed is like that. So slowly, unmanned vehicles are coming into our life. Simple example, Tesla car, driverless metro, driverless bicycles, drones, many more devices are coming to picture. They are all, what? Unmanned vehicle technologies. There is no human existence or human intervention is required. Simply they would work autonomously without being explicitly intervention of the human. Your intervention is not at all required. Are you clear? Great. Okay. So we know how the algorithm is going to be helpful for us in order to solve the problem. Let's talk about flowchart. What is flowchart? These are all words are very important. Even if you become 20 years of experienced guy, an architect, who is architect? Civil engineer is an architect, right? Generally we used to call, but even software companies also having architect. He's a designer. Are you clear? What he does? See, do you think Ratan Tata is a software engineer? No, right? See, the owner of the companies, they might be highly technical people. Bill Gates is a hardcore programmer. You know Bill Gates? Who is Bill Gates? Who is Bill Gates? Microsoft founder. Who is Narayana Murthy? Infosys founder. Everybody is not a software engineer. Whenever if we explain them something, they are not interested to listen our stories. We wrote algorithm, right? It's a pseudocode to solve the problem. If you write the pseudocode, you will be write in a nice English. If I write a pseudocode, I would be write in a semi-structured language. He will be write a highly sophisticated language. The way you talk, the way you form the sentences person to person, it is different. But don't expect that everybody can write the English unambiguously. What is the meaning of unambiguous? Without any confusion. Ambiguity means what? Confused state. Unambiguous means with good clarity, natural sense. Everybody can understand that. But even though, if you write 100 lines of English sentences, if you go to 30, 40 lines, you will be forget about above lines. Yes or no? If I give you legal document, have you seen legal documents? 30, 40 pages would be there. Do you understand all the pages? You don't understand at least 30 to 40% of sentences. You don't see the words which are written in that particular document. That words are, domain based. Legal words are completely, I don't understand. We need to refer the dictionary sometime. Doctor's language also same. Sir, no. Let's suppose we wanted to build one software application, pharmacy-based software. Pharmacy is there, right? So each to develop one particular tablet, what is the dose of the each molecule or atoms, whatever they would be mixed? That level you wanted to have. Are you familiar with all those? We are not familiar with all those, right? If those kind of sentences might have written and it will be handed over to you being a software engineer, do you understand? Definitely no. So algorithm is up to some extent it will be give you the meaningful thing, but it has to be converted into a flow chart, which is also known as a entity relationship diagram. Have you heard this word? What is entity relationship diagram? What do you mean by entity? And what do you mean by relationship? Entity means what? Entity or also object. Object can also see these object entities are the computer based programming based words. 25 years back, do you know the word called as a data? I don't know. Do you know the word called as information? These words have came into picture after 20th century, because once the computer came into our life, data, memory, all these words are came into picture. Because before that, we used to maintain the information or data where we supposed to maintain? Huh? Physical books, pages, isn't it? Each need to be right, signatures, all this. Now, in place of the signature, there is a digital signature. Yes or no? Your signature doesn't require, physically not verified. They will be make a digital signature. Authentication will be takes place accordingly, or else biometrics, or else voice recognition, or image recognition. A lot of authentications provisions are there. Are you clear? So entity or object, many people would be involved. Many entities are like we can say, things also, or substances also, or materials also. All these will be common. If we show one particular product and ask a mechanical guy, what is this? If I ask him, it is a material, he will say. If I ask to computers person, it is an object, sir, he will say. If you ask a layman or else a little low level person, if you ask what is this, it is one thing. Yes or no? All meanings are same, but they are domain based. Mechanical person have one domain knowledge. Physics person will have a one domain knowledge. Mathematical person will have a one domain knowledge. Probably mathematical people can call everything as an object. Because the computer science and programming will be derived from the mathematics, in fact. If you do the mathematics, like matrix multiplication 5 by 5, how much time it takes for you? 5 minutes. Correct? If I ask to 10 millions into 10 millions of matrix multiplication, can you do? It's highly difficult. But computer, 0.005 seconds it will be taken. It takes nanosecond takes and it will be performed just like that. So human capabilities are not into consideration now. Clear? So to overcome the understanding of the algorithm, we will be convert algorithm into a flow chart. The flow chart is like, it is like a graphical user interface, graphical representation. Graphical representation. It has a certain symbols. Input would be given, like, if you look at, if you look at If you look at flow chart symbols. You see, to start a process will be used, this particular symbol. To show the relationship between uniform relation between x tends to y will be show an indication mark called as arrow symbol. If we keep up from y to x, if we keep x to y, it will be go accordingly. If there is a bidirectional communication, both the sides arrow would come. Like each particular symbol will have its own meaning. Yes or no? So every problem, whatever we used to write with the help of this particular symbol is for the decision making symbol. Else, if else kind of a while all such kind of things are going to be useful, this symbol will be by seeing that we have to get to know that there is a decision making or branching or we can say iteration or repetition. All these instructions will be represented by this, isn't it? So I think when compared with the algorithms, these diagrams are going to give you a little better understanding for you. Are you clear? Yeah. So I think you will be learned already at your first year onwards. At your college level, you might have learned if you wanted to perform certain operations, how the flowcharts would be get. It is not only here, even in the industry also, graphical representation is very important. So like, if you look at a car, you know, car has thousands of ECUs. You know what is the full form of ECU? Electronic control unit. Just the way how nerve system will work for a body of a human, in a similar way in the car also, lot of wires are going to be connected each other. Are you clear? Nowadays, if you buy any car, if you have any trouble, if you go to the service center, mechanic guy does not open this particular bonnet and he won't see what's happening for the car. Simply, there is a laptop. If you connect it to the car such a way that the car will be treated as a one particular object in which sub nervous system will be there. It will be show you, it will be troubleshoot where exactly the problem was occurred in your car. This is called UDS, diagnostic system. Are you clear? So how it will be happen? Because of program. Are you clear? If there is a hybrid model, nowadays you are getting a lot of cars. Backside used to be right hybrid. What does it mean? What does it mean? A single car will have a different a variation of the fuels will be there. CNG combination with petrol, diesel combination with solar, diesel combination with electrical vehicle. Likewise, every individual car has a different fuel can be utilized. Are you clear or not? Because fuels are different cost. Petrol is keep on increasing. Yes or no? If I'm not able to afford, I can go with the solar. But in rainy season, the solar might not be possible sometimes. Then I'll be go with petrol. Likewise, people wanted an alternate energy in order to consume for driving the car. But how the car will check whether the solar fuel is there or CNG will be there or LPG is there or electrical energy is there or solar? How the system will understand that? Do you understand or the program will understand? Who is the decision maker here? If you take a Tesla car, are you a decision maker or there is a program is a decision maker? Program is a decision maker, right? Everywhere this kind of before going to build a real software, you need to draw the graphical representation that how communication will be takes place in between. Yes or no? So this is very important. Whenever there is a problem, you have to in a position to write a diagram how the execution flow would takes place. Roadmap, I can say. Yes or no? That's great. Okay. So here, yeah, here Flowcharts are going to give you graphical representation, how the relationship will be existing between entity to entity, like student faculty. A faculty is going to become a parent. Student is going to become a child. If I draw the arrow mark from top to bottom, student information I can access, but faculty information you cannot access. It is unidirectional. If I give bidirectionally, we'll get to know that there is a one-to-one relationship. There is, let's suppose, social media relationship. I'm your friend. There is no PM, there is no CM. Both are same because they are friends. There is no father-child relationship. There is no master-slave relationship. Everybody is common in the social media relationships. Are you clear? How the representation will drawn? There is an appropriate graph representation is drawn. Everything will be treated as an object. Everything will be treated as a nodes. They will be interconnected each other. Are you clear? So based on the situation, this graphical representation are going to be drawn accordingly, meaningfully. Other people can understand that what's the meaning of this particular diagrams. Even the civil engineer also, whatever the large building they wanted to build, very nicely the civil engineer is going to draw the diagram. Yes, sir? By seeing that, we can estimate how much money will be estimated, how many labors are estimated, how many packets of cement are estimated. 60, 70, 80, 90% of the accurate estimation of the resources can be estimated based on the civil engineer's diagram, which is a blueprint. Yes, sir? That's the power of the flowchart, I can say. Are you clear? Even the software, if you want to build a software, a client will give, I need that, I need this, you develop that, this, he will be give you. But being a business analyst, you should analyze that how many software engineers are required, how many scrum masters are required, how many testing engineers are required, how many coders are required, how many DevOps engineers are required, how many logistical people are required, how much money required to buy the product, to buy the languages, to buy the tools, to buy the licenses. It has to be estimated or not. Are you clear or not? So these are all logistics will be drawn graphically. Are you clear? And third party license are required. All these. If the entire the story will be written in terms of a story, can you understand? So therefore, in the industry, there will be software development life cycle. Every company would follow. SDLC full form is what? What is full form of SDLC? Software development life cycle. It has the mainly 5 phases are going to happen. The first phase is information gathering. Information gathering will be does by the business analyst from the client. From the client, business analyst will collect the data, what kind of software they need to develop, what software they need. So here the business analyst used to collect an info in natural language. NL means what? In natural language. Somebody client might explain in Telugu, somebody client to explain in Hindi, somebody in Tamil, somebody in Marathi, somebody local language. But being a business analyst, what's the job of the business analyst? He will be collect on information towards the software what they expect to be maintained at their location to be converted into technical language. Technical language. What does it mean? Technical language usually it look like an English. Yes or no? Universally, which language used to be preferred? English language will be preferred. But does the English language can be work as an executable code? No. So at this particular level, conversion of the natural language to the technical terms, such a document is going to be a BRS document. What is the full form of BRS? What is the full form of BRS? Business Requirement specification document. It's like a paper level document. BRS means what? Business requirement specification. Other client required certain software. They need to run their business. He will be collect all the information and he will be write on the paper. But let's suppose the business analyst is not up to the mark in terms of English. Are you clear? And it requires a domain knowledge. It requires domain knowledge. What does it mean? So somebody business analyst might have a good at hospitality industry. Who is patient, who is doctor, who is nurse, how the communication takes place, how the execution flow will takes place, how the money will flow takes place, how entire the process will use, how application will take the patient information, who is going to see, who is an authorized person, who cannot see the information. There are a lot of people would be involved in that. Are you clear? For the same person, if he asks to develop a telecom application, can he understand? Definitely no. Yes or no? Because they need, knowledge of the domain. Are you clear? So business analyst position is very responsible job. He will be a multi-talented person. He used to be understand many languages, English, Telugu, all these local languages. That's the reason when the clients are located in abroad, somewhere else in South Africa or somewhere else, if there is no proper communication to takes place their inputs related to requirements, 2, 3 people are deputed to their client location, stay there for 6 months, 1 year, understand what kind of works are going on over there. Then you prepare neatly what they need, what software we need to build. Because if we don't understand what's happening over there, obviously by just normal conversation, you don't start writing the program. It's highly difficult. In fact, the developer job is very easy. When it is possible, when the above layer people are very intelligent people. So first person is going to be a business analyst. He will be prepared BRS document. Okay. The next is that designer. Designing, we can say. Designing level. It is also called as an architectural level. Architectural. Yeah. What happens, whatever the documents prepared by the business analyst will be sit with the analyst, which is a designer. What designer will do? He will be prepared algorithms, flowcharts, and sequential diagrams, isn't it? Collaboration diagrams, isn't it? Many more. Yes, sir. ER diagrams. These are all combinedly we can call as the SRS documents. What is the full form of SRS? Software requirement specifications. Previously it was a BRS. Now it has become SRS. This copy is different, this copy is different. SRS document is consisting of most closely which is able to translate those statements into an executable programming statement. SRS documents does not consisting of directly executable code. They consisting of which are very closely associated to be converted into a executable programming statements. Are you clear? That's a job of the designer, which is an architect. Architect we can call it as. Who can be called as a DBA or database administrator. Maybe other roles are going to be involved in it. Everybody will be called as a stakeholders, we can say. Are you clear? The next layer is going to happen, what? Developer now. Like coding. Coding or implementation. Implementation layer, which is the phase where the developer, which is a coder, also known as a developer, also known as a programmer, is going to be involved. What is the job of this particular coder? Whatever the previously designer as well as business analyst have prepared the SRS and BRS documents will be handed over to the coder. By looking at them, he would be start writing the code, and definitely the for every coder there will be a project manager, there will be a team lead, there will be some responsible senior, most people are going to be there in order to explain to you, to give the KT, which is the knowledge transfer, and who is going to be divide your task, what is to be does by whom. Are you clear? That's called as a divide and conquer policy, we can say. Are you clear? That's nice to understand. Yes, right, great. Okay, now coder job is what? Preparing executable code. Executable code using programming languages. It can be Java, it can be Python, it can be many more programming languages. However, that depends on the company level, that depends on the application client requirement. We'll be use such a programming and we'll be develop the code. Once code is does, once the application is does or developed up to some extent, then there is a next phase is going to be involved, which is testing phase. Testing phase. Who is does this particular testing process? There is a quality analyst who can also be called as a tester. Are you clear? What exactly he does? Whatever the code developed for the purpose of the software to build, he will be verify and validate that whatever the product developed or software developed by the coder is that really meets the requirement of the client. Does the system is providing or not? He will be cross verifying. Any bugs will be there, any bias will be there, any errors will be there, any failures will be there, any defects will be there. All these will be uncovered things are going to be detected while the process is going on, verification and validation process. There will be a lot of types of testing would happen, like black box testing, white box testing, unit testing, sanity testing, smoke testing. A lot of testing would be takes place, because by the time the tester this particular application is tested, maximum number of errors will be detected and will be resolved them such a way that at the time of maintenance we don't expect that the application would throw an error runtime, because whatever the cost will be taking to develop an application, if something goes wrong at the time of the correcting that particular failures at a runtime will take double of amount. That will be very disaster situation. Therefore, this testing is the phase where very cautiously, very carefully does by the people. Are you clear? Yes or no? He would be prepared. This particular guy will prepare. There is a document is called as an FRS. What is the meaning of FRS? Functional requirement specifications. This document is also auditable document. It has versions. Every time, sometimes you will be write a test case to test the application is working properly or not. Sometimes your test might be go ambiguous. Again, one more test would conduct. These are all kind of tests are going to be treated as regression testing. Regression testing. After a few years also certain errors might be thrown to you. Then who have made that? Because we are all using now Agile model. Agile model is very dynamic model where the team of the people very collaborative manner, very instantaneously they would get an alerts and what's happening and deployment and continuous integration and deployment would happen. What does it mean? Nowadays certain software they cannot be stopped. 24 hours they used to be run. But the adding features is also be does. That's called as a continuous integration and deployment process, CI/CD process we can say. Are you clear? So guys, many things being matured, you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Up to what extent he would be remember what, because I'm writing something, but I'm explaining more and more to you. So try to be, remember you take it as a responsible, because I'm not talking any irrelevant things to you. Being a software engineer, being a experienced person, whatever the roles and responsibilities does at a software company, these are all things that I'm talking about here. Being a fresher, don't think that these particular terminologies or conversations or whatever the demonstration I'm telling you is not necessary for you. Think that it's very important to understand that, because you are not a civil candidate or mechanical candidate. You are a purely hardcore computer science guys. You should have that knowledge. You guys are in fact going to give the KT for the other people who joined as a fresher for mechanical, civil, pharmacy, such people. If you are not aware, then how can you give the knowledge to other people? Yes or no? Kindly take it as a priority. Try to remember more and more. If possible, try to listen this. I'm recording this particular session. I'll be upload to the channel. So kindly, whenever if you have a time, try to learn them, because the vocabulary, the way you use while demonstrating the things will be very important and very impressive to other people at a company level. Are you clear? That would come, the more you listen, the more you will talk, because it's all terminology issues. Clear? Great. So once the testing is pressed, the reports are going to be prepared. That report has how many tests are possible, how many tests are passed, how many tests cannot be tested. Certain things, there will be limitation of a product. Clear? So 90% of the tests are passed with a great limitations will be released in the market, that corresponding product, and will be specify what is the drawback of this. This device cost is 2000 rupees. Can I expect this amplifier can be able to produce the sound up to 5 kilometers? Because the cost is 2000, up to 200 SFT or maybe 300 SFT, the sound amplification can be possible. Are you clear? Yes or no? I'll give the limitation. What is the limitation? Up to 200 SFT, the sound can be amplified. Later, you cannot expect, because 2000 rupees only. That's a limitation. While testing Bluetooth, up to what feeds we can access. Wi-Fi, up to how many feeds we can access. You will test. If you go beyond 500 feeds, definitely Wi-Fi cannot be accessed. Bluetooth cannot be accessed. They cannot be detected. That's the drawback of that device. Yes or no? We are all going to test them. If there is no that facility provided, we'll clearly remark that if you go beyond that particular stage, that device doesn't work, you have to accept it, because you are accepting. These are all things would be happen during the testing stage. Are you clear? Okay. Once the test is done properly, if reviewers, stakeholders, clients, everybody would accept, okay, my software is performing all the essential things, but whatever the non-essential things, I'm not expecting. And in fact, I haven't paid the money for building those kind of features too. Then the last stage is going to be, deployment stage. Deployment is the